and like a Rolling Stone. I see someone else in this room who looks like a Rolling Stone. Maybe he'll join us on the couch, but he's got one of those phone things that are really interesting. He's completely into it. He can't even hear us. We'll use this camera. There's still 8 people holding it out here on the Periscope. They're now camera in a camera.
Hi, Giacomo.
Giacomo Zucco? What? At the Lightning Conference? No. This Vaporware, you want to come on down to the couch? Scoot in here. We got another microphone. It's so much more interactive than your phone. It's going to be super fun.
Thank you. Hi, Vlad.
Hi, Giacomo. Buongiorno. Guten Tag.
Ah, guten Tag.
Way better than my German.
We've got to practice, though. So make sure your microphone's on and make sure we've got you plugged in. But say hi to the people out there on the internet.
Hi, everybody.
I'll activate the troll box, see what's been going on. We had some serious trolling going earlier. People were telling us all about how Bitcoin Cash was better than Bitcoin.
Sure.
And how I betrayed the small blocker or the big blockers. And I was a total hypocrite conspiracy theorist.
You are paid by Blockstream, right?
Absolutely paid by Blockstream. Not even a free hoodie. I got a free hoodie from Nodl, though. So I've been definitely paid here. Obviously, I'm totally sold out. It says power user on the back. They're bribing us with things. Let's see.
Did they give you a note at least? Or do you own one? Or are you just representing the
No,
brand?
I just got a t-shirt. All I got was the sweatshirt. So no node yet. I might buy one from them. Let's see. They're saying in the chat, the UN did not exist when the Ottomans terrorized Romania. But I was also talking about the League of Nations that predated the UN. And I don't think I directly said that it existed. So I disagree with that guy in the chat. He's boring. This guy says, what Tone says is sacrosanct. So is that true, Giacomo? Do you believe everything
in general?
Tone says? In general. Oh.
Well, Tone was very good to translate some kind of technical argument that was pretty clear to technical people, but very unclear to non-technical people into some kind of aggressive meme. So it was very instrumental in order to spread something. For example, I'm not really a fan of technical analysis in general.
Yeah.
This kind of price prediction. I think that we discuss with Tone sometimes. I think that mostly it's like a way that good traders can channel their instinct and fundamental analysis. You know, like when you have a wizard, which is actually a very good psychologist, and he uses like T bottoms in order to channel something that they know because of some more fundamental knowledge. Also, I think in trading, you have to have a discipline. So if you follow technical analysis, that's like a proxy for your discipline stuff, and also it's a little bit of self-fulfilling prophecy, because if everybody is following technical TA schemes, then they will actually
they will work
at least in the short run. So except for that, which I don't think that there is an actual predictive capability. Most of what we share most of our beliefs. I strongly disagree with him about regulations. I always think it's bad. He thinks it's good against. If I had to choose between a regulator and a scammer, I would pick the scammer.
Yes, it's interesting to see the technical analysis. I agree with you. It's a lot of tail following. The guy in front of you sees something, he goes, sells, someone sells, they sell. Then they all see something, then they've all sold. And and then it fulfills itself. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Especially if it's those parts of analysis that are very quantitative and deterministic, then they become a Schelling point, basically. Everybody can, the trend is so that many people want to sell or buy, and they coordinate around several round numbers or figures.
Yeah. Now, what do you think recently about the conference that Tone attended with Craig Wright? Craig Wright was right there on the panel. Obviously, I think the default position is why'd they put this strange scammer on the panel? He makes all these false claims. He doesn't sign his keys. He's about to lose in court, allegedly, that he's not even Satoshi, that he can't prove this, that he might not even have the money that the lawyers think he has. So should he be on the panel? Let's start there.
So when you face a fraudster, a scammer, or a bad actor in general, you have basically three options: boycott, ignore, or debunk.
Right.
And I don't think there is an ethical preference toward one of these options. I think that's a tactical question. For example, if the guy, if the fraudster or the bad actor doesn't get any attention, you should ignore. Otherwise, in attacking you, you will give
him
more
more power.
exposition.
Yeah, exactly.
If he has been debunked completely, then you ignore because there is nothing to add. But if the guy, for example, wants to scam new, I mean, if your environment is very niche and it's expanding, so new people is coming in that they don't know about previous stuff, and you choose to ignore, then you will leave free range for him to scam new people until they get on the same page with all the banking. So I don't think there is like a mantra. Also, there is a network effect. If everybody is boycotting, then boycotting makes sense. If nobody else is boycotting and only the knowledgeable people boycott, they just lower the overall quality of everything. So I think that what you shouldn't do is normalize. So attending the panel and confront him and debunking, yes, depending on the situation. But attending and just normalizing, that's not what Tone did. Tone had the T-shirt, and it was pretty clear, I think, there is between the two, there is a strange relationship. Like Craig Wright seems very relaxed with Tone. Maybe they are like, I don't know.
There was a lot of like behind the scenes photos that came out, and I don't think anyone has to be a jerk to people behind the scenes. Like I know lots of people in this place that don't like me or whatever, and they're generally like walking away or giving me a dirty look or whatever, and that's fine, right? But there's this idea on the internet that, oh, you have to be a jerk to him. Like not only you're in a picture with him, you shouldn't smile. You should like punch him in the face. It's like he's there with another speaker. He has to be nice to him. It's a civilization thing. Right?
Yeah, but also, I mean, these kind of scammers is not like the kind of scammers that, I mean, Tone told me that the first time they got drunk together, Craig started to talk about how Satoshi is probably dead. So also made some kind of, probably,
I've heard that,
Craig Wright is a professional conman. He's not really is not a soft scammer like others. So he will probably be, I mean, when he is off duty, so he's not scamming people in front of the camera, he will probably be just a nice random weirdo.
Well, I mean, I hear he's this classic kind of personality where I say, like, I like to swim. He's like, oh, I was an Olympic grade swimmer. You're like, I like to shoot. He's like, oh, I can hit a target from 500 yards. It's just, he's a bullshitter. He's just, and again, this Bitcoin thing comes along. It's the biggest thing in the world. Why not bullshit some people? Maybe just from the beginning, like tell these lawyers in 2013, I mined Bitcoin 2 years ago and I have tons of stuff, but my roommate died and he had all the secrets, but you can trust us. It's being couriered back to us like Back to the Future. I have to stand at this corner at this date in 2024 and the keys will arrive and you lawyers will get crazy rich. It's a scam, guys. Like they're giving him free legal work, which empowers him. And then later on, he's going to pay back the free legal work with these imaginary keys that may or may not exist, allegedly. And no, we have no idea what's inside this guy's black box.
I will make the point that I made here in my presentation. At some level, scams are a filter. And there are certain people that if their cognitive dissonance is so strong that they cannot get reality right in something obviously scammy, then probably they are beyond help anyway, and you're better off just making Darwinian evolution have its way. So if you study the Craig Wright case and you still have any doubt, probably you are beyond saving anyway. So we cannot help.
But the pumpkin lady did such a great job.
She got up and she challenged him in the interview section. What'd she say? What kind of thing? What'd she say?
You haven't seen it?
I've watched it, but it doesn't have sound, and it looks like people yelling at each other. So, what did she say, though?
She just got up and said, "You're a pumpkin man. You go back to your pumpkins and tomatoes and potatoes. And you're a farmer, Craig. You're a fraud." And somebody else in the room was yelling, "It's not about who he is. Listen to him. It's not about who he is."
It's a pumpkin man. Yeah, I've seen some of the memes starting to kick off about that. I think it's a fun one. And once that starts,
we know who she is. I don't remember her name, but she started commenting, and she pretends to be a collaborator of the Interpol.
Wow.
So she could be like a competitor of Craig rather than
possibly. Sometimes I think Craig Wright is a conspiracy by governments of some sort because he got away with so much so easily.
Well, it also shows the weakness of this space. If you come on, you make a big speech, you claim all these claims, you don't fulfill them, but you just keep claiming them, like you're saying, to new people. Like, sure, we heard right away he couldn't sign the keys, Gavin looked bad, everything went south. Normal people didn't hear that. It was a blip on the internet radar, and it went and it came and it went away. And you have to keep telling people, you have to tell them over and over again how, he is a scammer. So
From one point of view, it's rational. When you hear bold claims, you pay attention. That's a natural reaction. When somebody tells you, somebody tells you something incredible, like Satoshi. Satoshi was an important figure, so I'm Satoshi. I tell you that Bitcoin will die again and again. Like next year, Bitcoin will
there's
be.
a secret flaw. The Chinese miners are going to turn it off. The thing that you don't know is what I know, and I'm going to turn it off. Yeah.
Makes sense to listen, at least at the beginning. Then you should have some heuristics that if extraordinary claims continue to arrive without any extraordinary evidence and with a lot of evidence of fraud, then probably you just stop listening.
Yeah. But it does take the entire community doing it, and it's so hard with all these conferences because this is a good conference. It's a Bitcoin, it's a Lightning conference. A lot of the new ones are more fintech conferences, and all they really care is that you have a nice suit and you talk good, and we can hang out at the golf course later and have martinis. And those kind of conferences, they love a big name like Craig or Nick Scavo or anyone else that's getting paid $20,000, $30,000 to go to a conference. Like the rest of us are lucky if we can get a train ticket or maybe a hotel room or maybe just a closet or a coat room to put your camera up in. But other people conferences aren't like that. And people have got to understand, like, there's a difference out there. And I'm getting all this flack. They're like, oh, you're traveling around Europe, you must be rich or whatever. And they're seeing me take multiple small hop flights, which means I can't afford a direct. And they're seeing me like staying in people's extra bedrooms and couches and things because I'm saving money on Airbnbs. And, I'm drinking my own drinks, eating the food of sandwiches of the street and all these things. And they're like, it's too much. But no, there are people that get paid for conferences. Not us yet, but maybe.
Well, some of them absolutely deserve it. If you are very good at something and people start to pay you for that, and you provide a service, there's nothing wrong with
it's
people.
An open market. You want to charge as much as the market will bear.
Exactly.
And you put a lot of time into it. And these are all the kind of things like practicing speaking. Andreas probably made speeches for dozens of years before anyone cared. He practiced at home, all these kind of things.
It can be a job. You add some value because basically you are a vehicle for some kind of message which is hard to transmit, and you are better at transmitting it. So it's a value.
So we've got a big couch here and we got lots of microphones. So I don't know if you guys want to stay, but I want to go ahead and bring everybody in if you guys want. If you're ready, you thinking about it? We're live on the internet here. So if you cross that line, your whole anonymity will be over.